Praise God.
Praise the Jubos. Welcome, everyone, to tonight's Skeptic Bible episode 11. A king, a butler, and a baker walk into a bar, where we take a critical yet fun look at the book some people tell us is good. On this episode, Joseph tries his new command out as head of the other slaves. And Pharaoh sends his own butler and baker into servitude, along with some wacky dream premonitions, which I'm sure end up being good news for everyone. So won't you join us on another adventure? And remember, what happens in Egypt stays in Egypt. Our Skeptic Bible study is broken up into two segments. The first half, the host will read a chapter or two along with many of the annotations at the side. If this is your first time to the podcast, don't mind if we take a less than literal interpretation of characters' names. However, everything else on the page will be left as it was written, or meshed together via committee. Either way, at a certain point, we will switch into our open mic format in which everyone can join the conversation. Look for the link in chat to come join our Skeptic Bible study, or send me your questions, comments, or thoughts by tagging me at Amy Newman. All right, all. Don't forget to not only like and subscribe, but hit that all bell icon so that you can get live reminders. And with that, let's see what's on the menu. Before we begin, I'm going to start by going over the specific Bible we'll be reading, along with some helpful category marks. Categories, you say? Why, yes, I do. You see, we're going to be reading from the Skeptic's Annotated Bible, an entire King James Bible lovingly fawned over by a skeptic who decided he would add his own notations. These are little flagpoles of sanity put in use to remind us that, hey, maybe slavery is evil, including categories like absurdity, injustice, and cruelty, but also a good amount of intolerance, contradictions, and conflicts with science or history. That doesn't mean it's not packed full of misogyny, false prophecy, and some questionable biblical family values. Now, we won't skip the good parts that the Bible has, only that these passages seem far fewer in number than any priest or pastor seems to suggest. So without further ado, won't you come join the Skeptic crew? Woohoo! Are you ready for some slave action, James?
I'm ready. I've been pumped up about it all day. I think this is going to be a very interesting few chapters for us to get through today. So, especially after going through Ken Hovind last time, you should be just ready to go on this one.
Woohoo! And yeah, we've been watching as poor Joseph got his rainbow Technicolor dream coat. They took it from him, dipped it in blood, and sold him to the nearest strangers in a pit, or sold him from a pit. So good biblical family values.
Threw him in a pit. Yeah. Then they told the father an animal must have slew him. And then in the next chapter, God slew a couple other people for some other reasons.
Yeah. And I just want to say...
Oh, hey, everybody. Oh, Darth Dawkins. Hi. Debunk the
Just want to
website.
say hi to Dave Garr and Dark Dawkins and Andrew and Dog and Jim, who went to bed, and Tara, who's out there somewhere in the interwebs, and Titan Uranus and Jamie. And okay, are you guys ready for some adventures with biblical morality and a dash of absurdity?
I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm ready. All right.
I'm guessing it's not going to end up good for the butler and the baker, but just a guess here.
Honestly, James, I know that none of the stories have turned out good so far, but I feel like this is the one. I feel like this is the night where everyone turns out A-okay.
Even Potiphar's wife, who made that, was that the first ever false rape accusation in history, and Joseph left her with his garment? Yeah.
My man.
Let's see.
And let's see. The book of Genesis, chapter 40. So we are officially 4/5. There are only 10 chapters
4/5
left in Genesis. The king's butler and baker on the menu, absurdity.
Now this one, he's already in jail in Egypt, so he's already been accused of raping Potiphar's wife, and Potiphar threw him in jail because of that. So
on the last episode,
but he's the chief prisoner. He's like the top dog in the jail. So
yes, he got promoted. So it's kind of cool. On the last episode, it was kind of like Joseph got thrown into jail with strangers, but it was okay because he became the chief slave. So cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Praise God.
Praise Jeebus. And it came to pass after these things that the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker had offered their lord the king of Egypt. The king's butler and baker are thrown into prison, and Joseph, do we figure out, you like Josephine or do you like Jesus? Cool. I'll go either one. It's a hard choice, but we'll go with Josephine.
Joe DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio. Oh, I like that. And Joe DiMaggio is put in charge of them. And the king, boom, 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 was worth against two of his officers, against the chief of the butlers, and against the chief of the bakers. And he put them in ward in the house of the captain of the guard, into the prison, the place where I already forget what you said. Joe DiMaggio was found. That's right, Joe DiMaggio. Just like I got to remember, Esau the Seesaw. Joe DiMaggio was bound. Once again, endorsement of slavery. Oh, I'm gonna call
imprisonment, which I guess in a way is like is a form of slavery in a way, depending on how you look at it. But
and the captain of the guard charged Joseph. All right, we got Joe DiMaggio. We got a job for you, and he served them, and they continued a season in the ward. Ooh, and they dreamed a dream made of these. Both of them, each man his dream in one night. Each man, according to the interpretation of his dream, the butler and baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in prison. They each had a dream on the same night. How we knew, I don't know. And Joe DiMaggio came in onto them in the morning. Well, you know, that's a problem with a lot of guys. It happens early. And looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. Well, that happens too.
That's exactly how the Bible describes a male and a female making a baby come in onto them. Just saying. The same term exactly.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell whether, like I said, whether it's us or them, and oftentimes it's them being naughty. The Bible
Yeah.
likes to have the sexy time. And he asked where Pharaoh, bling bling, officers that were with him in the ward of his lord's house, saying, "Wherefore look ye so sadly today?" I need an apple. Joseph asked, "Why do you look so sad?" Oh, they answered, "Because we have dreamed a dream, and no one can interpret it." Okay. I feel like, how many people did you go around? And was it maybe
I
you just
mean,
had a bad day?
I have dreams all the time, and no one's been able to interpret not one of them yet. So
I know. And they said unto him, "We have dreams a dream, and there is no interpreter of it." And Joe DiMaggio said unto him, "Do not interpretations belong to God?" I don't know. Do they? There was no rules about it so far. Tell me them, I pray you. Don't interpretations belong to God? I don't know. Yahweh, are you up there?
hey,
Any
hello, hello.
Do interpretations belong to you? We're gonna give 5, we're gonna give 4, we're gonna give 3,
I'm sorry,
2.
Amy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Amy. Me and Jesus and the Holy Ghost are having a meeting to decide which kids are going to get cancer today. So we got no time for your dreams right
Damn
now.
it. I knew it. It was always watching kids get cancer.
Somebody's got to decide, Amy.
Somebody. I hear it's actually a channel in heaven. So, the Butler's Dream. Ooh. So here we go. We're back on to, yeah. I want you to know, Dave Gar, not only are there so many cum jokes, but we will never miss one. Not a single one.
No, not one will get by us.
I'm so fast. My reflexes can't catch them. Okay. And in the vine were 3 branches, and it was though it budded, and her, I'm going to say bosoms, shot
Blossoms.
forth. And her blossoms shot forth. Okay, fine. And the clusters therefore brought forth ripe grapes. I mean, either interpretation works.
Right.
The butler told Joseph his dream, saying, "There was this vine with 3 branches that produced grapes." Ooh. I know. What the hell? There's gonna
Nobody
be
said there would be meth.
There's gonna be a math test at the end of this, and the answer is always 1 + 1 = God.
We need Math Pig in here to help us.
That's true.
This.
We do. Okay. In fact, shout out to all our mods and the Discord mods, and I should probably send the Discord link out in chat. I'll do that. And all that. And I just created a Facebook page. I need to actually set that up, but more social media coming soon. Thank you, advertisement. Okay, where were we?
Coming soon, Amy.
Coming soon. Coming everywhere and as often as possibly. And Pharaoh's cup was in my hand. Oh, baby. And I forgot to say, this is and Pharaoh Bling Bling's cup was in my hand. And I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh Bling Bling's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh Bling Bling's hand. I made juice from its grapes and gave a cup to the Pharaoh. I mean, that seems like a fairly normal dream so far. And Joseph said unto him, "This is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days." He's just pulling this out of his butt. Joseph interpreted the butler's dream, saying the 3 branches are days. In 3 days, the Pharaoh will release you from prison. I hope this guy's not your attorney. Yeah, within 3 days shall Pharaoh Bling Bling lift up thine head and restore thee unto thy place, and thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's Bling Bling's cup into his hand. What is that? What is in that cup? After the former manner when thou was his butler. I do find it interesting that they do say butler, and it does imply that if he was his butler and he can get enslaved, that's really two different levels right there. That kind of is indentured servitude and slavery, isn't it?
Well, the butler, he wasn't really a slave. I don't think he would just be like a regular employee, a servant. But what happened is somebody stole something from the Pharaoh, and it was narrowed down between the butler and the baker. So one of them's going to get out of jail. The other one's not going to have as happy of an ending. But Joseph here, he's telling the butler that don't worry about it. You're cool. You're coming out in a few days, but I don't think it's going to be as good for the baker.
Yeah. And I just want to say it's an easy joke, but Jesus saves and scores 5 points.
Jesus is. Wow.
Praise Jesus. I once just saw a t-shirt
Amen.
that said Jesus saves, and it had like Jesus going like that with like soccer gloves, and so like he was actually playing goalie.
Hockey,
Good
hockey
times.
Would work.
Yeah, or hockey. Either one. Why was
14.
Joseph imprisoning again? Felony trespass. Joseph is imprisoned because he was sold into slavery because his dad was like, you know what? I love my sons, but I kind of like this one son a little more, and I'm going to make it really obvious, and I'm also going to buy him a Technicolor dream coat. And
a rainbow coat.
The brothers were like, nice coat you got there. It'd be a shame if like something happened to it, and then something happened to it, and they dug a ditch, and they were like, whoa, we can't just kill him. Come on, guys, we're not assholes. Well, a little bit, but we can't be complete assholes,
and then
right?
Somebody came walking by. Some slave dealers just came walking by out of nowhere with camels, and they said, let's make a deal.
And just like that, Joseph gave up a dream coat and his I was going to say free will, whatever you want to call it.
He yielded to God's perfect plan.
Perfect plan. I'm sure it'll work out. All right.
Well, and then he was sold to the chief captain of Pharaoh's guard, and he became the best slave that guy ever had. And the guy put him in charge of everybody in the household, and then he went away for a little bit, and then the chief captain Potiphar's wife got a little hot and bothered and said, damn, this Joseph guy is looking a little good. I'm going to get me a piece of that Hebrew. And of course, Joseph was like, you are my master's wife. I will not touch you. I cannot do that. I will not have sex with you. And she keeps bugging him about it. And he keeps saying no. So one day she gets pissed off and grabs his pants that he had on. So he did have pants on, but she grabbed his pants off of him. He ran away, and she told everybody, yeah, he raped me, trying to rape me. And so his boss comes home and gets real mad and doesn't really believe that the rape story, but so he doesn't kill him, but he throws him in prison instead. So that's how he got to prison. A fake rape allegation that everybody knew was fake, but Potiphar couldn't completely disparage his wife by not doing anything, so he just put him in prison instead of killing him.
Once again, biblical justice. We have a lot of biblical family values. We have all sorts of fun stuff going on. It looks like we're about to hit some destruction. So,
cruelty, yes.
Where were we? He was
we were 14. Yes.
But think on me when it shall be well with thee, and shew kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of his house. Oh man, what's Bling Bling doing? When you get out of prison, you might mention me to the Pharaoh. I was stolen in Canaan and haven't done anything wrong.
That's Joseph, like, hey, when you get out, pass a kind word along for me. And he will in a few chapters. Because somebody else is going to have a dream.
God,
Spoiler
spoilers.
alert. Yeah.
For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also have I done nothing that they should put me into the Dungeons and Dragons.
The guy's like, everybody in jail's innocent. Come on, man.
Be fine. I'm sure the baker and the butler will be good. The baker's dream. Oh, now he's dreaming a dream. All right. We have some good old cruelty. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, yay, he said unto Joe DiMaggio, I was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head. When the bakers heard Joseph's happy interpretation of the butler's dream, he decided to tell Joseph his too saying. Oh, we're going to get saying? And in the uppermost basket, there was of all manner of bake meats. I love bake meats. For Pharaoh bling bling. And the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head. What? I also had a dream. There were these 3 white baskets on my head. The top basket had all kinds of meat for the Pharaoh, and birds ate out of it. And Joseph answered and said, this is the interpretation thereof.
Things are going to go downhill.
Uh-oh. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh bling bling lift up thy head from off thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat the flesh from off of thee. Well, that escalated quickly.
Yeah. Things went downhill quick for the baker.
Joseph interpreted the baker's dream, saying, in 3 days the king will cut off your head, and birds will eat your flesh. Oh, and just a reminder, I forgot to do our other advertisement for www.whywon'tgodhealamputees.com. We've been trying to run experiments. We've been flipping amputees up and down. We've been praying 2 times in a row. We're waiting for something to work, but Jesus does save. He scores! I'm going with that joke. It's really such a stupid joke because technically he'd be trying to save from a goal, but I can't help it. It's just so fun.
I mean, Jesus would just make the ball appear in the net, nobody would even see it. He would just fuck with people.
I know. If Jesus was playing, would he play fairly? Or is he gonna be doing miracles while he's on the field?
Flying around the court like Superman.
I feel like it'd be funny the first time. He'd be like, "Look, guys, I can walk over the." Well, I was gonna say walk over the field, but that's called walking. I can make the ball fly or something, though that'd be called kicking it.
Like Jesus playing baseball. Every hit's a home run. It's always, how many feet did that go? Infinity. It left the universe.
Amazing.
Look, Jesus, another home run. Yay.
See, I could do that gag well, because it would be Jesus. He'd hit it. It would go out to infinity, and they'd still go, it's still a foul. I'm here. I gotcha.
And then the umpire would be cast into the lake of fire.
Exactly. Good times. Everyone likes when it ends up in nice roasty hell. Joseph's interpretations come true.
Go figure. The book makes a prophecy, and then it says that it came true. Wow.
Is this prophecy? I'm trying to remember. Give me 1 second, guys.
It's not really a prophecy.
Interpretation.
But
interesting.
In the book, Joseph's making a prophecy, and then it's telling you, oh, and by the way, it came true.
Gotcha. Plus a little cruelty, just for fun.
Why not?
Joseph's interpretations come true. And it came to pass, the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh Bling Bling's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his Oh my, I got something stuck in my throat. And he lifted up the head of the chief butler, of the chief baker, among his servants. Only the chiefs.
Yeah.
Minions suck. On the third day after Joseph interpreted the butler and the baker's dreams, Pharaoh had a birthday party, and he restored the chief butler onto his butlership again, and he gave the cup into Pharaoh Bling Bling's hand. On his birthday, the butler from prison and hanged the baker. Wait. On his birthday, he released the butler from prison and hanged the baker.
Yeah. I think the baker needs a new line of work.
I was gonna say, what the hell? And does it say why?
It doesn't lay it out here, but I think we're always told that one of them stole something from the Pharaoh, and Pharaoh eventually found out it was the baker, not the butler, that stole it.
But it has to be an apologetic, right? Because that's not written in the Bible.
It's not clear.
We're reading the literal Bible.
Yeah, it's not clear right now, but yeah.
But I guess it's implied. I mean, it only makes sense if you're a story writer. The problem is once it's taken... Yeah, exactly. Oh, Robert in the house, as my mouse isn't working. Woo! There we go.
Hey, Robert.
Okay, we're gonna probably do this. We're about to finish this chapter. We're gonna do one more chapter, and then I think the third chapter we'll open up with open mic and we'll finish. So
21. 22.
Chief Butler, but he hanged the chief baker as Joseph had interpreted to them. So, I mean, they are saying Joseph predicted the future here, or at least interpreted correctly.
Yep.
Whew. But
the butler didn't tell Pharaoh about it yet.
Yeah. Shh. Yeah. Yet the chief butler remembered Joseph, but forgot him. But the butler didn't tell Pharaoh about Joseph's interpretation of his dreams.
Not yet.
Oh my, not yet. And okay. All right, so what do you think? Book of Genesis, chapter 40. We've introduced and killed some new characters.
Meet the baker. Now say bye to the baker. He's dead.
Bye.
But the butler, the butler's still doing okay. He gets to continue to be a slave, so that's good for him. And Joseph, he's still in prison, so
yeah. They made it through round 1 of Saw. The baker got killed, but
now we're given Joseph's ability to interpret dreams. Like remember before he practiced that with his brothers and his father, and they didn't really like it too much because his dream was basically like, "Oh, you're all gonna work for me."
Me?
They're all like, "What the fuck? We're working for you."
It's a very
you're all gonna work for me.
Joker-esque scene.
But hey, Jacob loved him the most. His mom had the right stuff for Jacob, so
the right stuff. Okay. Jesus saves. Woo! The crowd goes wild. That makes more sense. There we go. Jesus saves. The crowd goes wild. I like it. That makes more sense.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Tremendous. Huge.
That's our religion. Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 41. Pharaoh's dream. as I hit things. We're back into good old-fashioned absurdity. I'm sure the mic loves when I hit the desk. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years.
So he's been in prison for 2 years, yeah.
As you do. I agree with him. This was for nothing. I mean, his frickin' brothers. All because of a frickin' coat. I mean...
Oh, but don't worry. God's got a plan, Amy.
It's all in the plan. I mean, I'm sympathetic.
God's got it covered. Don't worry about it.
Super jelly
don't worry about
of a super cute jacket, okay? I'm sympathetic. But I mean, I think selling my brother into slavery, teeny bit
it's a little excessive, but hey.
Little excessive. I mean, I understand sibling rivalries, but James, don't you know, when you were younger and you were on the playground and your brother pushed you over and so you sold him into slavery?
I mean, I don't know how many times I could tell you, because I had a younger sister, but she would have been gone. If the right people came around, I could get like $20.
I know. And a woman, I mean, she wouldn't have even had much say in it anyway.
Maybe only $10 then, but still.
I know. Still a good price. Pharaoh's dreams. Good old absurdity. Always good to keep laughing. Remember, after a good murder, remember, kids, keep it light. Remember to keep laughing.
Keep drinking. Keep smoking.
And it came to pass, at the end of 2 full years, the Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. That is not very amazing. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kin and
cows.
Flat kine. Is that what that is? It's cows, kine. And
cows,
flat-feshed, and they fed in a meadow. 2 years later, the Pharaoh had a dream. Here's how it went. The Pharaoh was standing by the river when 7 fat, highly attractive, good-looking cows that came out. I know what they mean, but it's just funny.
7 land whales. It actually is talking about cows, not people, but
I know.
Go figure.
It's still funny, even if
7 land whales come out of the water.
I would now like to imagine that it was 7 highly attractive cows with lipstick, like the literal cows, but with lipstick and wigs. Good-looking cows that came out of the river and were like, "Hey, honey, moo moo," followed by 7 skinny, ugly cows. I love it. The Bible's funny. Skinny cows ate the fat ones. That escalated quickly.
They ate them. Devoured
Behold. Ooh. The cows. Oh,
Moo.
that escalated. Moo. And they were gone. And behold, 7 other kin came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine, do cows eat other cows?
Not that I know of.
I don't think cows are carnivorous. Like, not to be
only
picky,
in the dream.
Oh, it's true. Okay, that's true.
Only in dreams.
And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed keen did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat keen. So Pharaoh Bling Bling awoke. Oh my God, Pharaoh, were you dreaming about the man that you had just sent to death? No, it's fucking cows. They were eating other cows.
Crazy shit.
And he slept and dreamed the second time. And behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. Pharaoh had another dream. This time, 7 skinny heads of grain at 7 fat ones. Those are words. This time, 7 skinny heads of grain at 7 fat ones. Okay. And behold, 7 thine ears emplasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and Bling Bling said, "Behold, it was a dream." Yeah, this is, they never talked about this in Hebrew school. Did they talk about this in Bible school with you guys?
Cannibal Cattle.
Woo-hoo.
That should be the name of a band, like some kind of metal rock band, Cannibal Cows.
Cannibal cows. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians, even Penn and Teller of Egypt.
Even David Copperfield.
Even David Copperfield.
And Chris Angel.
And Chris Angel, but only if he has Guyliner. And all the wise, can't hate on Guyliner though, called for all magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. All of them? And
even
Pharaoh.
Liberace.
Even Liberace from the dead. And Pharaoh Bling Bling. Hey, maybe this was when Liberace was at his height. Great. Told him his dream, but there was none that could. Actually, this was, I believe, at this time period, Bernie Sanders was first becoming a grandfather. But I'm here all night. I love Bernie. Good
Bernie.
But he's like Larry David. If you look at like Larry David from the 90s, he looks exactly like now. It's just so funny.
It's true.
Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them onto Pharaoh Bling Bling.
So they didn't just make anything up. They didn't just
It's almost like we need Joseph, the interpreting man.
Seven. Let's see, 7 withered ears of corn, Pharaoh. That means God wants you to give me like a lot of money and tell me to get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. It means that you have to pay us $7,000 if you want. Yeah, or if you want your crops to keep growing, or they're all wither. Then spake. That's what I hear every time I hear the word "spack." The chief butler onto Pharaoh Bling Bling, saying, "I do remember my faults this day." The butler told the Pharaoh about how Joseph had successfully interpreted his and the unfortunate baker's dreams. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants and put me in the ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. He's the chief baker, baby. And we dreamed a dream. In one night, I and he, we dreamed, oh baby, each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was there with us a young man, an Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard, and we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dreams he did interpret. Some of these paragraphs, once again, okay. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto mine office. Oh, I know where we are now. It's the office. And him he hanged. That escalated quickly. Poor Jim from the office. Oh my God. Then Pharaoh Bling Bling sent and called Jojamaggio, and they brought him hastily out of the Dungeons and Dragons, and he shaved himself. Okay? Well, you want to look good when you're going to be there for the Pharaoh.
He manscaped?
Yeah, a little bit. And changed his remnant and came in onto Pharaoh. Oh, baby. So the Pharaoh, that was my little coming into, I guess, dance.
So they cleaned him up a little bit. They didn't want somebody smelling like the prison to be brought into the Pharaoh.
Exactly. Also, I just saw this, a big hidey ho to Spooky in the house. Stripper liquor in the house. Hello, guys. And hearts.
And it came to pass that a stripper got licked.
And a bed hair was Spooky. Where were we?
16.
16.
Wait, 15. 15, I think.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee. I like how you're right, none. He's like, I went to everybody, and they're like, nope, just sounds like a dream. Maybe you should shut the fuck up. But
Yeah,
no,
who
it's
gives
the
a shit?
Pharaoh. You can't say that to the Pharaoh. You can't say that to Pharaoh Bling Bling. That thou canst understand a dream to interpret it. And Joe Damasio answered Pharaoh Bling Bling, saying, It is not in me. Not yet, baby. God shall give Pharaoh Bling Bling an answer of peace. Joseph said, It's not in me, but God will give you a peaceful answer. Well, at least that sounds peaceful.
He wants it in him, Amy.
Yes. And Pharaoh Bling Bling said unto Joe DiMaggio, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river. And he was like thinking deeply. It was kind of his emo stage, but I understand enjoying a nice brisk walk around a river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 oh god damn it, we're back to flat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kind came up after them. Is it going to be cannibalistic cows? Because I mean, the Bible's getting cooler.
Dream, you know.
Okay. Oh, he's just explaining it. Damn it.
Yeah.
I was hoping there were cannibalistic cows, because then I wanted to go to Christians and I want to be like, cannibalistic cows, I demand them.
Hey, if God made a cow want to be a cannibal, that's what they would do.
There you go. And I now want to make a horror movie of cannibalistic cows. And behold, 7 other kind came up after them.
Starring Aaron Ra.
Poor and ill-favored, and lean-fleshed. Almost sounds like zombies. Such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt, for it was badass. Okay, for it was badness, but either or. And the lean and the ill-favored keen did end up the first 7 fat keen. Okay? And when they had eaten them up, Brett Keen. Yeah. It could not be known. Oh, poor Brett Keen. He's getting all eaten up. Known that they had eaten them. But they were still ill-favored. As the beginning, so I awoke. Uh-oh. I have to change this paragraph anyway. And I saw in my dream, and behold.
He had a teepee.
He had a teepee. And behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. Oh, baby.
Now, when did those ears have a hamster growing out of them?
Yeah.
Or a puppy? Ears, corn makes corn. When you plant ears of corn, you get corn. You don't get a hamster or a puppy or an armadillo. Well, it's really easy if God beams you the interpretation of the dream. Then it's really easy.
Yeah, and it's amazing how he's becoming a prophesier. You just got to get sent into slavery. Apparently, you can get magical powers. It's amazing.
Well, he had it before, but God's, I guess, refining it. Because remember,
he's refining
his brothers and his father the dream, and they kind of laughed at him before.
Oh yeah, okay.
The dream that y'all gonna work for me, bitch.
Are you telling me that you're gonna work for me? It's like, and I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears. Okay, that's kinky. And behold, 7 ears withered, thine, and blasted with flavor, with the east wind spring up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, specifically Dr. Strange himself, but there were none that could declare it to me. So Joseph interprets the Pharaoh's dreams. I feel like nothing could go wrong here except for a good old absurdity, injustice, and what's been on the menu all tonight, violence. All right. And yeah, I'm gonna have to say this is definitely my favorite concept of tonight is cannibal cows. Last podcast was God getting really angry over someone splooging on the floor, but I mean, hey, you
Don't
never
forget
know.
also cannibal ears of corn.
And Cavaliers, and I agree. Lean Flesh.
Corn.
This has been pretty bad. I mean, we basically just entered into a B horror movie, so that's pretty cool. And I'm like, exactly, everything's running smoothly. We got this. I'm sure everyone
Thank
will
you,
be
Ancher.
fine.
Yeah, everything is going smooth so far. Smooth sailing. The
Exactly.
baker's dead. The cows are dead. The corn is dead.
So far, the cows aren't eating us. Come on, what could go wrong? And the seventh thin. Okay, where were we? This is the thing. Oh wait, no. And the seventh thin and ill-favored kin that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears
I
blasted
think you
with
skipped a
flavor.
little bit, right?
Did I
Right?
skip? Did I just? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you
You know what? I
skipped
didn't even
20.
start it.
Go back to 25. Yeah, 25.
And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh bling bling is one God hath showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. God said it was simple. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are blasted with flavor. No, are 7 years. The dream is one. God will send 7 good years, followed by 7 years of famine. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kin, which I believe is a fancy word at this point for cannibalistic cows, that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears blasted with flavor with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. And the famine will be worldwide and very grievous, but it will be not marked by any specifics so that any important empire in history will have recorded it like the flood. Dot, 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 dot. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh bling bling. What God is about to do, he sheweth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine. And all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land of reason of the famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass through my bowels. No. He's just going to bring it to pass. Okay. Now, therefore, let Pharaoh bling bling look out a man, discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. I like how this is at least taking place in New York or Egypt, at least a place that we know, just like Spider-Man comics. This is
Better than just Canaan all the
exactly.
time.
Joseph advised the Pharaoh, saying, find someone discreet and wise, and give him power over all of Egypt. What?
Maybe one of those dukes. Maybe one of the dukes.
We shall have 43 to pick from. Now, therefore, let the Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, blah, blah, blah. Let the Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land. And
Jared
take
Kushner.
up the 5th. There you go. You can get Jared in there. He can get real estate. Hi guys, my name is Jared Kushner, but I don't really talk a lot. He's so soft-spoken. And take up the 5th part of the land. I've only heard him speak like once.
I'm trying to say Ivanka wears the pants in that relationship.
Oh my god, no. He is soft-spoken, but absolutely. But there's a reason why I think he doesn't talk a lot, do many press conferences. He's so soft-spoken, though he's probably a better real estate agent than Donald was. That's why. That's why Donald, I think, let him into the family. He's like, "Come on, son-in-law, you can be whatever. Look up to me." He's living vicariously. And let them gather all the food on those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh. And let them keep good food in the cities. And the food shall be for the store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine.
So in other words, the people gonna come to McDonald's, but they ain't gonna have shit for anybody. It's gonna be nothing.
No. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh Bling Bling, and in the eyes of all his servants, except for the fact that they were owned human pieces of property. And Pharaoh Bling Bling, oh my goodness, excuse me so much. And Pharaoh Bling Bling said unto his servants, can we find such a one as there is a man in whom that the Spirit of God is? The Pharaoh asked his servants, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for much as God hath showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Pharaoh asked his servants, who should I appoint to oversee Egypt? Where can I find someone who is filled with the Spirit of God? I bet Joseph's just like, I don't know where you can find someone. It'd be cool if there was someone around here.
I mean, I know I just told you that you need to appoint this person, and here I am, so I don't know.
Exactly.
You need to have a prime minister, Pharaoh. Look, even fucking Queen Elizabeth has a prime minister. You need one too.
And okay,
I'll be Gordon Brown.
I know they hadn't worked that out yet. They like their slaves. It's either you're a slave or you need to have a king. Gotta have someone who's above you. It's a hard shtick in life back then. All right. Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? Okay, so then Pharaoh said unto Joseph, did I say this? Foremost as God hath shewed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Oh, man. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, because I want to read this again, for as much as God hath shewed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. He's about to say it's you, isn't it? Yeah. Thou shalt be. Spoilers, it's going to be him. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in thy throne will I be greater than thou. He then chose Joseph. Dun, dun, dun. Wow! God has shown you how to interpret my dreams. It's almost like you were making it up, but that's cool. Now you get to be in charge of everything.
Yeah, why didn't the other magicians just make that up too? They're all kicking themselves like, damn, I wish I came up with that idea.
I feel like, yeah, the baker should have came and been like, look, I can tell everybody's dreams. I understand everything. You may have had a head right now. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I haven't set thee over all the land of Egypt. You will rule the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand. This sounds like such what a king would do, by the way. I'm sure this is exactly what would happen. And put it upon Joe DiMaggio's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain. Pharaoh Bling Bling put a gold chain about his neck. That's how you know it's true.
So you trying to say that when like the president has like an emergency or something, they wouldn't just bring somebody from the prison and let him solve the problem for us?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense to you?
That actually sounds like in the opening to a Batman film, but okay. That's pretty sure that's how you make supervillains. Well, we're going to let the prisoner be in. Okay. But I mean, Joseph didn't do anything. I guess they're lucky, but it's just so funny how I'm just going to give you everything. Here you go, servant that I own. You're going to, okay. Once again, this is not us writing the story. This was some other scribes 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago in a writer's room.
Yep. Yeah. Two authors, J and E. Then It was tinkered with, but those are the identities that the
Oh,
scholars refer to them as J and E.
and he made him to ride. Oh boy, like Ghost Rider.
Don't tell that to Smokey or Maddox. They'll yeah. It was Moses. Okay, Smokey. It was really Moses. Yeah.
It's actually Moses. He's a real guy. Moses is
Okay.
definitely real. Talking to a burning talking bush. It all makes sense. And he made him to ride in the second chariot. Dun, 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 which he had. And they cried before him. Bow the knee. Dun, dun, dun. He made him ruler all over the land of Egypt. Wow, this is like as good as the One Ring. Maybe not quite as good as the One Ring, but this is pretty good.
But he also got the necklace, remember? So
that's true.
Chain.
He got Pharaoh Bling Bling gave him a necklace. That's pretty cool.
And a facial.
Bling, yeah. Woo! And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh Bling Bling, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. Well, I would hold up my wait. They didn't say no.
Nope, don't do it, Amy.
No. Ow! Uh-oh. No.
Don't do it,
take
Amy.
me away. Oh my God, I didn't mean it. All right.
Have you ever baked anything, Amy? Are you a baker?
Am I a baker? I am an occasional baker, but every once in a while, I also am into cooking. I got you. Tip your waitress. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh Bling Bling. Okay, we said Pharaoh Bling Bling. And Pharaoh Bling Bling called Joe DiMaggio's name. Zephaniah Azaparadia Akasanabia Kanamiska.
Zephanath Paneer.
Zephanath Paneer.
Yeah.
I just imagined this like on a roll call for school in Egypt. It's just like
Zephanath Paneer.
And so we have Dan, and then we have Zappa Paphania. Okay. And he gave him to wife Azarath. There we go, from World of Warcraft, the daughter of Polygram, priest of On. And Joe DiMaggio went over all the land of Egypt. Oh baby, he even Stephen gave Joseph a cool new name, Zanapanamia Mia, and threw in a wife because that's what you got to do just for the heck of it. Nice. Joseph drew his new chariot over all the land of Egypt. So now he's just showing off. And Joseph was 30 years old. Hey, there you go. When he stood before...
That's like if you just got out of jail and you're driving and you get money and you're riding around in a Lexus by your old homies, sitting on the street chugging OE, like, ooh, this guy right here, what's that fool doing?
Now I'm king. Now I'm president or mayor or whatever. And Joe DiMaggio was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh Bling Bling, king of Egypt. And Joe DiMaggio went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. Woohoo! Joseph's interpretations come true.
Well, go figure.
Go figure. For better or for worse. So we have some good old absurdity, some cruelty and injustice. I feel like this is a good BLT right here.
It's a nice trifecta.
Nice trifecta.
Nice hat trick.
I'll have the absurdity, the cruelty, injustice, please. And in 7, plentuinous, I'm going to go with plentus, plenisaurus, years. The earth brought forth by handfuls. And it all happened as Joseph predicted. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years. When which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about every city, laid up he had up in the same. And it all happened as Joseph predicted. During the 7 good years, the earth produced by the handfuls. Joseph gathered and stored all the food with corn grains so abundant that they couldn't be counted, like the sand of the seashore. And Joseph gathered the corn of the sand of the and Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. And Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Azareth, the daughter of Polygram, priest of On, bare unto him. During this time, and we missed lesbian. I think lesbian instead. During this time, Joseph and his Egyptian wife Asnath had 2 boys, of course, and Esau the Seesaw. He's a good guy. Manasseh or Manasseh and Ephraim. Okay. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manna, just like you would if you were playing magic. For God said he hath made me forgot all my toil and all my father's house. Yeah. No. Interpret this dream now. This slave is your slave. The slave is my slave. From California to New York Island.
From Egypt to Canaan.
I would like to just reiterate for, I guess, the 100th time, we're not out of Genesis, and they have mentioned and endorsed slavery about 100 times at this point. And we're not even up to the passages that Christians and atheists fight over. And Joseph called the name of firstborn. Am I on 51?
Yes, 52. No, 52.
52. Ha! And the name of the second, that was me stretching vocal. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for God hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of pestilence that was in the land of Egypt were ended. As Joseph predicted, the 7 good years were followed by 7 bad ones. And the 7 years of Darth? I was getting excited to read Death. Oh my God. And the 7 years of Darth Dawkins began to come, according to Joe DiMaggio had said. And the Darth Dawkins was in all the lands. But in all the land of Egypt, there was bread. I remember this story. This is basically a nursery rhyme. We get it. This is like you kept gathered.
So if you're on like the keto diet, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because they got bread. Yeah. That's it. They got bread.
Yeah. They will be fine. Yeah, all the others are fucked though. They suck. They don't have God on their side. Or Joe DiMaggio. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh, bling bling, for bread. And Pharaoh, bling bling, said unto all the Egyptians, that is Joe DiMaggio's problem now. What he saith to you, you do.
They cried for Panera bread.
They
Panera bread.
Panera bread. I mean, I understand. I mean, I do love a good Panera bread.
It is pretty good, yeah. You can't deny that. Yeah.
And the famine was over all of their faces. Oh, no. And the famine was over all the face of the earth, even though there is no textual evidence for this, or not, other than the Bible. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold onto the Egyptians, and the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph, and all countries came into Egypt to Joe DiMaggio for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all the lands. Oh my God, the famine was so sore in all of the lands.
The Bible says like there will be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in various places. Go figure.
Go
Earthquakes
figure.
in various places.
And okay. All right, so we have just gone through the book of Genesis, chapter 41. We got through more of Pharaoh's dreams. James, what are your thoughts? We've been getting
Joseph
so
goes
much
from
wisdom.
the prison. He goes from the prison to being basically prime minister. And go figure. His dreams are coming true. He's got a new name, a wife. She popped out some babies, some sons. And he's selling grain to everybody. And everybody who wants bread is coming to him for grain. So it's a good time to be Joseph.
It is.
The Pharaoh's just sending everybody to him.
It is a fantastic time to be Joseph. I mean, everything's coming true. It's like almost like you're going to show your whole family up and be in charge.
Like they're going to have to come to buy grain from you to keep them alive, right? You think that might be part of the story?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Almost like everything he said from Yahweh. But is Yahweh just listening in and watching this? Like, this is my plan.
I think it's going to imply that it's his plan, that his having Joseph sold into slavery was a way to get Joseph in Egypt, to get Joseph to be in charge and to be able to save all this grain and save the world. Truth, justice, the American way, liberty, Superman versus Batman, Alien versus Predator. Bob Barker saves the world. Have your pet spayed or neutered.
Saves the world. And okay, so I am going to be sending the link into chat if anyone would like to join us for our final chapter tonight. We're going to be reading one more.
We're opening the floodgates of hell.
Opening the floodgates of hell, and I'll pin it for a second. But we are almost. I think we have about an episode or more two to go, and we're done Genesis.
Yeah. What do you think about this chapter? Thoughts on it before we move on?
I am just continuously surprised by how little I know about the Bible. You sit there, we all joke and say, well, it's true you don't need to read the Bible to criticize the Bible. But man, it sure helps, because if reading the Bible in a literal interpretation is supposed to win me on board to, let's say, the good news, it's not doing the trick.
It's not working so far. You're not impressed with what you read so far?
Not convinced.
Huh. Still skeptical, you say?
I'm still skeptical, but hey, we're only into Genesis, right? There's still plenty of time. This is where all the Christians
to go.
I know all the Christians are like, but Amy, but James, this is the Old Testament. Just wait. All tears will be wiped away. All wrongs will be undone.
Otangelo will be exalted.
Otangelo himself will have gravity acted upon his body, and God will come back. That's how.
But not the gas in his lungs.
Not the gases.
Not the gas in his lungs. No, that would violate Otangelo's third law of gravity.
And just sending lots of love out to, once again, all the
Dark
mods.
Dawkins, she should be in the Bible. Yes, absolutely.
And all the people in chat. Jesus saves. The crowd goes wild.
Jesus loves you, this you know. For Nephilim free tells you so.
It's an oldie but a goodie. It's Georgie's bit, but God loves you so much. It's just the funny thing is he has a hard time with money. The funny thing about God, he's all powerful, all knowing, creator of the universe. It's just the money thing has
Well, I mean,
problems.
Amy, he really loves you, but the thing is, he won't force you to love him. That would be wrong. He gives you a choice, so you can either love him and worship him forever, or you can burn forever. It's your choice. No pressure, no coercion. It's free will. What do you choose, Amy?
Though I will say, the Bible also has cannibal cows, which I'm not holding in the Bible's defense, and it also has
Cannibal corn.
some murder splooging. Remember, folks,
Oh,
no pulling out.
when God dropped the rhinoceros on the man for pulling out.
Remember, get your Jesus coupons, 50% off. Come one, come all.
And the Yahweh slave beating rods, as always, the generous sponsor for the show. Eternal guarantee. Helpline available 24/7. If it breaks over a slave when you knock him in the head with it, just pray to God and he'll restore it right away so you can beat the next slave, because you would hate to be in need of a beating rod and not have one with you when you need to beat a slave, right, Amy? That would be terrible.
Exactly. You can't let that happen.
Buy two even.
Buy two. Get the second one half off. We only take refunds if no blood. No blood.
The complaint department is in hell.
This is it. And okay. So the link is out there. It is pinned if anyone would like to join us. And with that, Paradventure.
On the donkey. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So we are
at tail on the kine.
Yes. Pin the tail on the cannibalistic cow. There is some good. It's so funny. Merged in between all of the massive amounts of boring, and I'm going to sneeze in a sec.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Tried to catch it, but instead I gave an explanation. Yeah, but we've been seeing some interesting stuff. I'm glad each chapter, in between all of the boring, there's sandwiched in some fun.
Once in a while.
Are we buying beating rods or people? Aunt Jur. I mean, the answer is quite simple. Yes.
Beating everybody and everything.
Do you know, like, in Amazon where it's like people normally buy these things together? We give you that option. We think outside the box here.
So you can buy your slave and then the rod to beat them with at the same time.
It's a good combo if you think about it.
Yeah.
All right. So... Oh, that's okay, Doc. I'm enjoying just seeing you guys in chat.
We will be on another day.
Many more streams. In fact, I think we're going to be doing a stream tomorrow. I may actually be looking at a stream. I think we're going to do an after show for the upcoming modern day debate. And look forward to our Patreon shilling stream upcoming as well.
And we still have to finish Ken Hovind Part 1, Round 2.
That's true.
We have to finish up with Ken Hovind, Age of the Earth.
We might make that a whole series. I have a stuffy Earth coming just to put next to my all praise spaghetti monster. I think it will be
great because it is amazing getting to see you go through that for the first time and get to see all of his wonderful Hovindisms.
I only know him basically from a few debates, but he's done so much material, and it's just like the Bible. Sometimes just getting through it can be like, because it's either dull or you get angry because you can't respond because you're like, that is so silly. But we can respond now.
I mean, Kent has his script. He's got his script, so I mean, you'll hear a lot of the same stuff from his videos in his his debates. He says the same things all the time over and over again. Even if they're proven wrong or if you point out that it's dumb, he'll just continue repeating it forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the words free will.
Extortion, yeah.
They love...
That's kind of splitting hairs there, Titan. I mean...
Oh, and we have Jesus.
Hello, Jesus.
Welcome on board.
Blessings.
How are you?
Blessings.
Blessings.
How's the right hand of the Father?
Oh, it's gracious.
Is it? Yeah. Well, praise you. Gay
Praise
men.
you.
Aaron Ra.
Well, see, I prefer ramen. In fact, ramen to you all. Ramen. Are you enjoying our Bible study?
I love Bible studies. Why do you not like God?
Oh, we see which God? But you mean
the Bible God? You're reading Bible.
Oh, well, I would say he's just not so far a really nice guy. His parenting skills lack. They could use some improvement. Let's just start with there.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just that, he had a Garden of Eden, and he put this tree of knowledge of good and
still
evil.
Hung up on the tree, yeah.
I know. And the thing is, I want to know who was the tree for, because you put the tree of good knowledge in there. Are you going to be eating from the tree? Do you get more knowledge? Does God need to gain more knowledge? Does he have other life forms he was going to save the tree for? Was it
snake?
Was there going to be like people coming over and it was like, oh my God, Adam, Eve, you ate the apple and I was going to give that to Bob and Sarah, who I was having
a
over
reptile
for
expo.
dinner.
A reptile expo in the garden.
And then he punished them forever and ever and ever.
And their descendants and yeah.
Okay, so do you feel punished?
Do I feel punished? No, I feel pretty good.
Okay, so what is the problem?
What's the problem? Oh, no, it's just with his parenting skills.
Well, but if you don't feel punished, he's the parent. What's the problem?
If I don't feel punished, then what's the problem? Well, I don't believe sin's real. So I feel good because sin is, I get to just do good things for good people.
Okay, when you do bad things, there's no punishment.
There is, unless well, here's the thing. I try not to do bad things because I don't want to hurt people. But if someone gets caught doing bad things, they generally go to jail.
But no, I talk about you. You don't do bad things.
Yes. I don't do bad things. I try not to do bad things. I don't think anyone could say they perfectly can't do. I'd say I put more good into the world than bad.
Okay, so if there's a father, the father disciplines on bad actions. That's not okay.
I think discipline and punish forever, and it depends on the type of punishment and what they were punishing them for. Like if the punishment is like, how dare you? You were out when it was dark in a bad neighborhood and I was worried, and so you're punished and you can't go. I'm going to sneeze again.
Bless you.
Yeah. Then sure. But if it's like, listen, Sarah, I have this statue, and if you put your fingers on this statue, I'm going to take my belt off and beat the shit out of you. Well, I think we might have to talk about parenting skills.
Oh, there's no scripture where they're beating with belts or.
No, they do. He does way worse things. If you're lucky, he gets to let you just die.
The Lord chastiseth whom he loveth.
Yes.
Well, no, if your parents love you, they correct you, right?
If your parents love you, they correct you. Yes, they gently correct you.
Oh, what do you mean, gently correct?
Like they don't turn people into pillars of salt.
Or
I
dye their
feel
hair
like
strange
I feel like that's
colors.
just I read it in a book once. It was like, do not turn your child into a pillar of salt. And it always spoke to me. I'm doing my Donald, but here we go. I love you, Donald. If you're out there, I heart you.
Yeah, we love you.
Do
Is he in chat? Did you see him in chat yet?
Yes.
Oh, he's in
Also,
chat.
just to play, and I'm only going to ask this once. You're not Oz, right?
who?
Who? Huh? Huh?
No,
No one?
that's clearly
Okay.
not Oz. No.
Just making sure. So what is it? Jesus is. What were you just saying? Did I interrupt your point or did I answer your point? And if not, would you like to, should we jump back into the Bible study? We got one more chapter left to go.
I love the Bible.
Say that again.
I love the Bible.
You love the Bible? The Bible's awesome. Bible. I think the Bible's pretty fun. I have to admit, I've been enjoying some of it. I mean, even though Yahweh can be a dick and a lot of the Bible, is boring. Let's put that aside. There's some interesting cannibal cows. I can't say that word enough tonight.
Go
No,
smoke
not
her.
her. He drowned the world in belts. And okay, are you guys ready? You want to peradventure back in? Do our final chapter?
I feel like, and then On was the one last chapter. Yeah, the priest of On.
The priest of On. Not off, On.
And then
But you know who I think had the most wisdom? Dan. It's really Dan. I feel like he spoke
between
to
Dan
heart.
and the baker.
Yeah, that poor baker. And the baker got hanged on his birthday. It was on Pharaoh Bling Bling's birthday. That's nice.
It's like
Always
a
good to-
party favor.
Yay!
Bring out the
Bodies.
executioner.
So I was thinking balloons, a birthday cake, and we'd hang someone. Anybody? Anybody? We like this? We got birthday plans?
That fucking baker, he sucks. His bread is always burnt and crusty. Hang his ass.
Hang him. You know what would be cool, though? I really hate witches. It'd be really nice if there was like a book that told us to burn them. Wouldn't that be cool? Oh my god, it's okay.
Yeah, like how can we suffer them to live? I mean, they do all this bad stuff all the time.
Exactly. Pinata.
I mean, they cast spells all the time and make magic happen. It sucks.
Yeah, can't let those witches because they would
They'll be flying
upstaging
around
God.
outside on brooms and divining the winning lottery numbers and picking which stock is gonna. They would have bought GameStop like a month ago for like $3, and they'd be billionaires by now.
I imagine also 2,000 years ago they made the Hot Topic line really long. So
yeah. With
peradventure,
many colors. Let's go.
many colors.
Many colors.
Many colors. He's gonna get that friggin' dream coat back, baby. He's gonna
Like Bill Clinton's dress.
exactly
Monica's dress.
like Monica's dress. Now, when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, hells yeah,
Corn? They got corn?
they got corn. Jacob's ladder said unto his sons, "Why do you look one upon another?" And Jacob heard that there was grain in Egypt. He said to his sons, "Want to have a party?" And he said, "Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt." It says it right here in my fucking old 2,000-year-old smartphone. Get ye down thither
iPhone,
and I Yahweh, thither and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die.
This is the same guy who's wrestling with God. Why doesn't he just ask God for some corn?
I know.
I went up the ladder and wrestled with him a few chapters ago, but now it's like he's disappeared again.
I can answer your question because God is too busy eating popcorn. Just watching.
Makes sense.
I swear I'm expecting a laugh track in the back of me.
And mushrooms. He's eating mushrooms.
And mushrooms. Lots and lots of mushrooms. Okay, where were we?
3.
3. Yes. Also, Jesus, if you ever feel like we're doing a passage wrong, and we probably are, tell us. And James,
don't send us to hell. Yes. Just tell us.
Yeah, well, James
us.
And I will shut our peepholes. And he said, "Behold, I have that there. I have that there. Is corn in Egypt? Get you down thither and buy for us from thence." I got real southern for a second. "That we may live and not die." And Joe DiMaggio's 10 brethren, he's got a little posse, went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, all the Benjamins, Joe DiMaggio's brother, Jacob's ladder, sent not with his brethren, for he said, "Lest peradventure mischief befall him." And the sons of Israel, not the country, the guy who got a new name, came to buy corn among those that came. Yes, easy.
Because Jacob's like, remember what happened last time? I sent you guys with my other young son, Joseph, and he didn't come back. So I'm not sending you with the Benjamins.
Not sending you with all those Benjamins.
Y'all gonna say animal came up and killed him. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
It's a James. Okay. Lest peradventure mischief befall him. Oh, I want peradventure mischief.
It's coming.
It's coming all over.
It's coming all over. Come on.
And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came. Oh, baby. For the famine was in the land of nothing can go wrong in Canaan. And Joe DiMaggio was governor over the land. Oh, look at this guy. He's getting all sorts of jobs. And it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joe DiMaggio's brethren came and bowed themselves down before him with their faces to the earth. When Joseph's brothers arrived in Egypt, they bowed to Joseph and asked about a corn. They don't recognize Joseph, and he pretends he doesn't recognize him. This is totally a Disney story. This is like, and here they're coming back, and he's like, "Oh, you're looking for corn." And they're like, "Yes, please. We're so hungry, sir." And he has basically, I guess, a Clark Kent thing going on where he has different clothes on, so they can't tell.
Yeah, he's disguised as the governor.
He has glasses on. And Joe DiMaggio saw his brethren, and he knew them, but not in that way, but made himself strange unto him, but not in that way, and spake roughly unto him, but not in that way. And he said unto him, "Whence came ye?" I keep on just saying it. And they said, "From the land of Canaan to buy food." Joe DiMaggio knew his brethren, but they knew not him. Wow, that got plain English really weird. Every once in a while. Okay. And Joseph remembered the dreams, which he dreamed a dream of them, and said unto them, "Sweet dreams are made of my brothers are gonna have to bow to me." And Joseph remembered the dreams, which he dreamed of them. This has been the whole theme of the fucking story.
Chapter,
is all these dreams.
So far.
Yeah. And said unto them, "Ye are spies to see the nakedness of the land. Ye are
spies
come."
like us. Chevy Chase.
Exactly. Joseph remembered his dreams about them And John Candy, you are spies. Good guy. You're here to see the nakedness of the land. Oh boy, I bet they are. And they said unto him, Nay, my lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. Oh my. His brothers said, No, we're here to buy food. We're all one man's sons. We are true men. Thy servants are no spies. You know, our properties are not spies. They're humans that we own. Isn't that normal in this time period? We are all sons of the same father. We are true men, not spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. I just think they just like to see him come. Joseph said,
Over and over again.
Yeah, sometimes I'm repeating myself. Sometimes the Bible, just over and over,
They
redundantly
repeat the
redundant.
same thing, yeah.
No, you are here to see the nakedness. Okay, so if you were just paying attention, they went nuh-uh, and the other one you went yuh, and the other one went nuh-uh. So thank you for the wisdom once again.
Oh, yeah, back and forth over and over again.
And they said, The servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Can I get an amen? And behold, the youngest in this day with our father, and one is not. His brothers said, We are 12 brothers, and the son of one man in Canaan. The youngest is with our father, and one is missing. Yeah, Baker is truly cursed. Like the Bible will go to great lengths to state the dumbness name of Joseph's third concubine, but the baker doesn't even get named. Yeah, he is.
Dead guy.
He's just the baker.
Dead guy. Chief Baker.
And that's true. It is in the past tense now. He was the baker.
Chief Baker.
Let's see. Exodus 22:18 is a mistranslation. Original was suffer ye not a poisoner to live, which makes more sense.
I've heard that before, that it's that it was talking about somebody poisoning somebody else. But I think there's other passages in there that talk about more traditional forms of witchcraft, not just poisoning.
And okay, where were we? I think we're making it through. I think it was this gap. And Joseph said unto them, That is it, that I spak a hakalugi onto you, saying, Ye are spies. What the hell is going on? Does he not know that? Are they spies?
No, they're not spies.
Isn't this?
He just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do with them yet. He's like, there they are. What am I going to do with them?
Am I missing? Isn't this premonition boy? Premonition boy doesn't see. Is he just throwing a hissy fit?
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do with them yet.
Hereby ye shall be proved by the life of Pharaoh Bling Bling. Ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh Bling Bling, surely ye are spies. Joseph said, You are spies. Yeah, I get that much. You can't buy corn unless you bring your youngest brother to Egypt. What the hell? One of you must return to Canaan and fetch your brother. The rest will be put in prison.
So if they bring another guy with them, therefore they're not spies. But if they don't bring another guy with them, then they are spies.
So what he's trying to say is, I just want to throw you guys now in prison. Is that what
I want to see Benjamin? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Was John Candy in size? I guess.
Oh, maybe it was Aykroyd. Yeah, I thought it was Candy. Good call, Baker.
Let's see, and he put them all together into ward 3 days. So he put his brothers into prison for 3 days. So, okay, we have done the 360, but now he's just playing cock tease with his brothers right now. And Joseph said unto them the third day, This do, and live, for I fear God. If ye be true men, you should cut off your snip-snips. No. Let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye, carry candy cord, or just regular, for the famine of your houses. On this third day, Joseph said to his brothers, One of you must stay in prison, while the rest of you go home with some corn. Ah, well, there you go. Give us a brother, I'll give you some corn. And bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so.
Bring him come unto me, so I may know him.
You may know him. Then bring your youngest brother back to me, and I won't kill you. And they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore, is this distress come upon us? So they returned home to get their youngest brother. Well, bye, Jesus.
Bye,
Jesus. I'm going to say it one more
saves.
time. Jesus saves. The crowd goes wild.
Goal! Well, Jesus made the goal.
Oh, he's back. Welcome back.
Praise you.
Praise you. Where were we? But bring your youngest brother unto me,
20,
and
yeah.
shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. And they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. Hey, Blue Cat. Yes, you're absolutely. So if anyone would like to join
Haley,
the
right?
stream, yeah. That is Haley. Hey, Haley, if you would like, we are probably we're going to wrap up in another 20 minutes or so. But come on. The link is in chat.
Come on.
Pinned.
Down.
But this has been fun. We've been, like I said,
along.
In between all of the exposition and nonsense is some fun stuff. The lake of fire is open. Come on in.
No social distancing.
No
masks.
social distancing. No masks. And okay, where were we?
21.
21. And they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us? And Dave Reuben answered them, saying, Spake I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child, and ye would not hear. Therefore, behold, also is his blood is required. Are we about to sacrifice a kid? So they returned home to get their youngest brother.
You never know. It could happen any moment.
Getting a little sacrificey. And they said they knew not to Joseph Slatter, Joe DiMaggio, Joseph Slatter, mixed the name, understood them, for he spake them by an interpreter. And he turned himself about from them and wept, and returned to them again, and communed with them, and took from them Simon, and bound him before their eyes.
Simeon.
Mm-hmm. Simeon. And this is just a reminder, because I'm seeing Titan, if you would like to join our Discord, feel free to join there. In fact, what I'd like to start doing eventually, especially if we start doing earlier streams, is I would like to have a live stream podcast and then maybe do like a half an hour after stream on Discord, just to talk with people if there's anyone there.
Yeah. Start
doing that. So head over there for some Discording fun. And yeah. And if you have Twitter, don't forget to like me at Amy Newman Tweets, or follow me, and I'll follow you too. Send me that. All right. Enough. Thank you, Capitalism, for the advertisements. We're moving on down. Jacob's son returns to Canaan. If you just joined us, we're moving through Genesis 42. We're 4/5 of the way through all of Genesis. We are almost out of the first, what do you want to call it? Is it the book? What exactly is it called?
The first book, yeah. First book. 42 50ths.
Really? Is that how many
So,
books
like
are in the Bible? Or in this version of the Bible?
80-some%, yeah.
Woo-hoo. All right. Jacob's sons return to Canaanite. We got some good old-fashioned absurdity. We got some contradictions
And we got some
with
sacks.
itself.
Some sacks, Amy.
There's some sacks? No, this isn't sacks. Sex? This is contradictions.
Coming up.
Well, hopefully sex. Then Joseph...
Sacks.
Sacks? Sacks of sacks?
Yeah. Ball sacks.
Ball sacks. Okay. Those kind of sacks. Then Joe DiMaggio. Oh, not sex. I thought you were trying to say you meant sacks. Sacks. I'm so
Ball
sorry.
Sacks, yeah.
We all love good sacks. When then Joe DiMaggio commanded to fill their sacks with corn. Sounds a little painful. Whatever you're into, though. And to restore every man's money into his sack, and give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. Joseph tells his brothers to fill their sacks with corn and put their money in sacks before leaving for Canaan. Okay.
Here we go.
They ladded their asses with the corn and departed.
That sounds painful.
Wow. So at this point, we just fill in our sacks and asses with corn. That's what I think I understand. Sounds about right.
Yahweh's a little kinky today.
Right. Woohoo.
Woohoo.
And as for one of them opened his sack, it was a little kinky, but sure, to give his ass... I'm just going to read this without making a joke, because I'm going to let the Bible make the joke for me. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender to the inn, he epsed his money for, behold, it was in his sack's mouth. I mean, I just read the sentence. That's all I did. On their way back to Canaan, they pay for an inn. Oh, I bet they, with the only way they know how, with money from in their sacks. They seem to surprise them. This seemed to surprise them for some reason. Okay. And he said unto his brethren, my money is restored, and it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them.
He's fucking with them.
Fuck with them. And they were afraid, saying one to another, what is it that God hath done unto us?
So they open up their corn and they see the money that they gave to pay for the corn is back in their sacks with the corn. It's like,
yay.
What the fuck? We got our money back.
We got our money back. And they came unto Jacob. Oh, they came unto Jacob's ladder, their father, unto the land of Canaanite, and told him all that befell unto them, saying, the man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country, even though he knew he wasn't. But okay, when they arrive in Canaan, they tell Jacob's ladder about their trip to Egypt, including the fact they had to leave this dude and promised to bring Benjamin back to Egypt.
Bring the Benjamins back.
Bring the Benjamins back, baby. Show me those Benjamins. The man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us and took us for spies of the country. And we said to him, we are true men, not fake men, as opposed to fake men. We are no spies. We be 12 brethren, because mom and dad got a little bored. Sons of our father, one is not, and the youngest in this day with our father in the land of Canaanite. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your households. Be gone. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are not spies. I don't know how that proves that you're not a spy.
Yeah,
But
bring some other guy along with you, and then yeah.
easiest Trojan horse ever. But that ye are true men, so will I deliver you your brother, and yet ye shall traffic in the land. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. I'm going to keep on doing that. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. When the brothers get back to Canaan, they find their money in their sacks and are again surprised. And Jacob's ladder, their father, said unto them, Me have ye bereft of my children. Joseph is not, and Simon is not. Ye will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me. Jacob is upset when he hears that Simon is in prison. And Reuben, spake unto his father, saying, Slay my 2 sons, if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to thee again. And he said, My son.
That's pretty. He's like, so if I don't bring Benjamin back, kill your grandsons, my sons. Yeah, that's a good deal there.
Yeah, good deal. Just give up your sons, we'll get some grain. How you doing in the regular farmers market?
If I don't bring him back, then kill my 2 sons. Great.
I miss Mad Magazine too.
Yeah.
Okay, but Reuben said to him, Kill my sons, and don't bring Simon to him. Woohoo! Welcome, Haley.
Welcome.
I feel bad. This is the end, but we still have a good 15-20 minutes as a wrap up. Did you watch any of what we were saying? And if not, that's okay. If you just joined us.
Not really.
Oh.
Yeah, so got in the shower, but I forgot to take off my clothes. So I'm wet.
As in, you walked in the shower with the clothes?
Yeah.
happens to us all. Also, Jesus, I heart you. I'm going to put you onto the top. Just
Jesus
so we can
is.
see something. There you go. Just like in your heart, he is, right? Exactly. And okay, so what do you guys think? We just saw Jacob becoming king, and then his brothers were basically telling him, we're trying to get grain, because of this famine. They didn't notice that it was his brother that they had sold into slavery, and the brother, I guess Joseph, was still pissed off. So he's like, you know what? You guys are spies.
Bring back the other brother, then I'll know you guys aren't
Bring
spies.
back the other brother.
Welcome back, Jesus.
What do you guys think in chat? What were any capture highlights? I'm glad that we got to see cannibal cows, and I'm hearing a little bit of an echo.
That was from Jesus.
I love that you're preaching the gospel.
Praise Jesus.
Praise you, Jesus. We're doing your work
And
for
that's
you.
funny.
I love that you're
And-
preaching the gospel.
Can I give you more of my money? Anything for me to buy for the kingdom?
No, just keep preaching the gospel.
And so, Donald, I'm going to welcome you in. I know you're like, I just turned my camera off, but that's okay. I actually have to go away for just 1 second, but Donald, were you listening to anything?
Who was echoing so bad?
It's not me.
Is it Haley?
I'll mute myself for a moment. I'll come back.
Yep. In fact, everyone, if you're not talking, just try to stay muted. Just gonna mute everyone's mic. There we go. And okay. did you want to say something, Donald? You can unmute and then.
Yeah, I've unmuted myself now, so no echo.
Okay. No echo. So that's
Okay.
good because I have to type something well, what's on your mind?
I was just gonna say, he's
We'll
being
be okay for a
dishonest to
second.
them. I mean, maybe he's got justification to be dishonest to them, but I mean, he obviously he recognizes who they are. He knows who they are. He's basically just saying, well, hey, why don't we have a whole family reunion? But instead of putting it that way, he's like, well, I'm not going to believe that you are who you say you are until you bring the missing family member.
Well, I guess the apologetic would be that if he wants to see if they've changed their ways, if they would still care about their brother, or if they would still
like
conspire against him.
Like I said, he might have justification. I mean, after all, if there's a brother missing, how does he know they didn't sell that one into slavery too?
That's true. Maybe they threw him into a pit. But yeah, that's the apologetic, is that it was justified.
Or actually get that one eaten by a lion or something, as opposed to faking that happened.
You never know, but they did say he was still alive, so. And I mean, they don't know Joseph from anybody else, so they wouldn't have to tell him about Joseph.
Yeah. Of course, if it was a real story, you gotta wonder, would any of them have at least maybe suspected it might be him?
Well, Haley, do you want to say something?
They did sell him into slavery.
What did you want to say, Haley?
Why do you guys say that?
Hold on one second. I'm going to turn you up. You're gonna talk now. You're still low
and echoing.
I'm not sure. Okay, that's okay. She'll work on that and come back. And yeah, I don't know why he's frigging around with them. I guess you can use that apologetic, but it does seem
he's
like
testing him. Yeah,
he's messing with them.
Wouldn't it have been nice?
Now it's apologetics. We can ask for evidence.
Well, I mean, consider this. If the Bible actually was the word of the all-powerful God, what would we need apologists for? I mean, God could have just put his own narrative in there and explained all this stuff.
I can't hear. I can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying, if the
hold
Bible
on one
actually
second, Donald.
was...
Hold on one second. Just make sure exactly. Everyone, I'll mute myself.
Haley, you want to give a try and see if we can hear you now? Dead silent.
Gotta unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah.
She's on mute.
Yeah, can hear you now, a little bit.
Wait, you still can't hear me that well?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Little echo, but we can hear you much better.
I was gonna say, I don't like how you guys are saying like apologetics, like it's some like international terrorist organization.
That's literally what it's called.
It's what they call it themselves.
Apologetics. It's defense of the faith. It's a category.
Defense of the faith.
Apologizing for the lack of evidence.
No,
yeah, basically. That's not really what it's defined as, but it's basically what it ends up being.
Alrighty. Well, I mean, so would there be atheist apologetics?
If atheism had anything to say, and if there were people who felt that they had to defend what it had to say, then yeah, there probably would be. But atheism is just a lack of theism, so it literally has nothing to say at all.
Yeah, and that's what atheists do. They take this position of I lack belief. It's lazy. It's lazy. They don't have to take a position, and they just talk. They just talk. There's no position.
It's all atheism is.
We just don't know
I mean,
what we don't know.
if somebody
We don't know.
if somebody is an atheist, it doesn't mean that they don't believe there is no God. They might, but it doesn't mean they do believe there is no God either. It just means that they you know they don't have a belief that there is a God.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
they
you're
lack
lazy.
a
You're
belief that
lazy
there
mind.
is no God at all, if they lack a belief that there is no God at all, that's not being lazy. That's just their position. I mean, I for example, I don't believe that the Bible. I don't believe that the Bible's God is real. But I also believe that the Bible's God is not real because the Bible's God is self-contradictory. And I can make that statement that I believe the Bible's God to be unreal, and not only unreal, but impossible. But that is my personal belief. That has nothing to do with atheism. Atheism is just the lack of theism.
Yeah,
All that
yeah,
says is that I don't have a
yeah,
positive belief
yeah,
in a God like the
yeah. So
Bible's God being
so
real.
you just said it's impossible. So now you just take burden of proof. So prove that it's not
Yes,
possible.
that's quite easy to do. There's a whole bunch of places in the Bible where it proves it itself. The Bible's God, for example, is supposed to be omnipotent. Now, modern apologetics works around the problems of omnipotence, but omnipotence is problematic because, for example, in order to be omnipotent, one would have to also be omniscient. You can't have omnipotence without omniscience, because not being able to know something is a lack of being able to do something. If there's something that you can't know, then knowing that thing is something you can't do. And so all omnipotent beings would necessarily have to also be omniscient beings. But then that also means that an omnipotent being is incapable of not being omniscient. Well, if it's incapable of not being omniscient, then
No,
that's a
no,
thing that an omnipotent being can't do. So again, omnipotence is in itself impossible. All by itself, omnipotence is an impossibility, and that's just one impossible quality of the Bible's God. It has a bunch of them.
and that's according to who? You?
That is according to uh, the definition of omnipotence itself.
Jesus, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why do you believe that the Christian God exists?
As compared to something else like the Wizard of Oz. I mean, do we know that the Wizard of Oz isn't real?
Just why do you know the Christian God exists?
No, no. I'll answer that. But first, how does the guy the pink shirt how he
It's purple, actually, but close
he
enough.
makes statement. He makes statement. He needs to provide evidence.
Evidence of the lack of something existing. Can you? I mean, can you provide evidence that there isn't a teapot floating around between
I did not make a
Mars and
claim. I did
Jupiter?
not make a I did not make a claim. You did.
But could you, if you believe there's no such thing, could you provide evidence
No,
that
no, no,
there
no,
was
no,
no
no,
such thing?
no. I did not
Could
make
you?
claim. I did not make
Okay,
claim. You did.
okay. Could you provide evidence of anything not existing?
No. You may claim, not me.
Okay, and what I claimed is that the Bible's God does not exist because the Bible's God is impossible, and the Bible's God is impossible because of the way it is defined. And I did back up that claim. That definition is in the Bible.
Okay, so you're doing the same thing atheists hate, is using the Bible the Bible to prove the Bible.
Oh, you are so Oz.
No, I'm using the Bible to disprove the Bible. There's a difference. If you try to use the Bible to prove the Bible, then that means you have to prove that the Bible is that a claim the Bible makes is true by using the Bible to prove the claim the Bible makes is true. That would be like if I wrote a statement down saying I never lie, and then I say, well, it must be true because the statement says I never lie. Therefore, I can't be lying. Well, that's not how it works. If on the other hand, I wrote a statement that says I always lie, that statement would prove itself to be false, because if I did always lie, then the statement would be true, and therefore I had made a true statement and I didn't lie. So I can't have always lied if I told the truth once. So that is a statement that proves itself to be false. Statements can prove themselves to be false. A statement can't prove itself to be true.
Well, no, you went straight. You went straight to the Bible.
Right, because the Bible has statements in it that prove themselves to be false. It does not have any statements in it that prove themselves to be true, because statements don't
According
work
to
that
you.
way.
According to you.
Because statements don't work that way.
Yeah. Oh, so it's just your judgment.
No, it's not my judgment. That's a
No.
matter of how logic works. That's a matter of how statements work. If I make a claim, just because I made the claim doesn't make it true. The Bible has lots of claims in it. Making claims does not make the claims true.
Yes, I agree. But you said
Okay, then we're not in disagreement.
no, you said there was no God. And then you went right to the Bible.
I did not say that. No, I said the Bible's God is an impossibility, because the Bible's God has statements made about it in the Bible. Therefore, the Bible's God has to meet the qualifications the Bible gives it. Otherwise, it's not the Bible's God. It may be some other God. Maybe the Bible's God is based on a real God. But if it is based on a real God, they got it wrong.
Okay, so that's still then I'm still right.
It depends on what your claim is. If you claim that the Bible's God exists as the Bible defines it, then no, you'd be wrong. But if you claim that there's a real God that the Bible's God is based on, you might be right. I couldn't prove it one way or the other, and I don't happen to know.
Okay, boom, I win. Thank you.
Again, I don't know what your statement is, and I might agree with your statement if I knew what it was. I made a statement. You haven't disproven my statement, so I don't know what you're winning against, because I don't see a disagreement.
No, you're the one that says that no God, and then you went to the Bible, and then
I didn't
you
say
just
no,
admitted.
God. That
Then
no.
yes, you did.
See,
Yes, you did.
no, that's a straw man argument.
No, you did.
That is misconstruing what I said as something I didn't say.
Rewind it.
Rewind it for what? I didn't say there's no God. I said the Bible's God.
No, that's not what you said. But okay, I win.
It is what I said. Yes.
No.
Yep. Because I would actually avoid saying, if I ever said that, that there is no God. I mean, other than like in a sentence saying, if I ever said, if I ever made that claim, I would be in error making that claim, and I would know that I was in error making that claim, because God is a name. If you want to do it in writing, if I write with a lowercase g, that's a different that's a different thing. But in spoken English, there is no distinction between God with an uppercase G and God with a lowercase g. And God with an uppercase G is just a name. Anybody's pet rock could be named God. And I know that good and well, because I had a fake flower named God a long time ago. I gave it away to someone, but it's still out there somewhere as far as I know. So as long as that fake flower exists, there is a God with a capital G. It's just a fake flower. It's not a supernatural being.
And I just want to interrupt, Doorknob. This isn't Oz. This is Zoe. This is like how there's like Superman, and then there's like opposite Superman. There's like the uber evil Superman. See, it's all starting to make sense now.
Like Kryptonite Superman.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
When he fixed the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
There was definitely a no God claim made.
What is the no God claim that you think was made then?
Oh, see, I can't rewind it right here on screen.
Okay,
you definitely
I made a claim about the lack of a specific God, a very specific God. I didn't make a claim about all gods being non-existent. I made a claim about a very specific God being self-contradictory and therefore incapable of existing. And you could do the same thing with any self-contradictory thing. For example, a square circle. It's a thing that can't exist. A married bachelor is by definition a thing that can't exist.
Shout out to Iron Charioteer. How you doing, Iron?
Iron here. Woo! Hey, Iron. we'll do this for another 15 minutes, but then that'll be we'll rein it back on topic if you guys want to keep going, and if not, we'll finish up the chapter, or we'll finish talking about it. Do you guys have any more thoughts? Or
Yeah, I have a thought.
Haley would like to make a statement.
Yeah.
I
Haley,
think.
go
So
ahead.
Haley, go, and then you can go, Donald.
So
Yep, you're on.
So can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm gonna leave after this because I have to go floss my toothpicks. But I think that whoever was saying that you guys are making very illogical arguments in favor of atheism has good points. Which one was that? I can't tell which was which.
For the points, for something someone said.
Yeah, the theist one.
Zoe, which is Jesus is.
Hold on, I can't. Oh, I can't. I couldn't see the one at the top, so it was covered up by the banner.
Yes. Well, I feel bad. I have to stick someone up. The people
You can
without
put me up there.
No, you're fine. You
You
got
can
a
put me
picture.
up there. I don't
You got
mind.
your
I never
lovely
mind.
face on the screen. You've
Okay.
always been a gentleman.
I mean, you can put yourself up there. No one notices you anyway.
Oh, I know. I love you so much too, Haley.
You know, if I'm up there and I have something I need to show on the screen, I'll say so, and I can get moved then and put right back for that matter. It's okay to stick me up there anytime you want.
Don't worry, Iron Chariots here. I think we're going to be doing another stream technically today since we're now across midnight.
Yeah, atheism as a position makes perfect sense because it is the default position. Atheism, on the other hand, as a belief system, makes no sense at all. Because atheism is a lack of a specific belief system or set of belief systems. So, it's indefensible as a belief system because it's not one.
Lazy.
No, that's not lazy. That's just a fact. If I tell you I'm not a stamp collector, I don't have to defend that. It's a statement that I made. I don't collect stamps. I don't have any way that I can prove that I don't collect stamps. It would be impossible for me to do so. So you can either choose to take my word for it or choose not to, and that's your choice. And I can't do a thing about it one way or another because it's a completely non-defensible position. I can't prove I don't collect stamps. Likewise, I can't prove that I don't believe there is a God.
Well,
I happen not to believe there's a God, but I can't prove it. I have no way to substantiate the fact that I don't believe that there is a God. I can give you reasons I don't believe in it. There is a God. That's different.
No. We could prove whether you did or did not collect stamps. We could.
That depends on whether or not I did. If I'm claiming that I do collect stamps, I could prove that by showing you my stamp collection. If I claim I don't have a stamp collection, showing you a lack of a stamp collection doesn't prove that. I can show you all kinds of containers I've got. I can empty my containers out one at a time, and for all you know, I could have a stamp collection in a safety deposit box somewhere, and I could be hiding the key outside my apartment.
Yeah, exactly. If we drove all the way down to that to that level of evidence, yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's why I say atheism as a belief system is an indefensible position.
That's why I said you're being lazy.
It's not lazy at all. It's not lazy at all. It would be useless to try to defend it as a belief system because it is not a belief system. That would be like trying to, defend the English language as a math system. It's not. Wouldn't make any sense to try to defend it as a math system because it's just not. It's a language. To try to defend atheism as something atheism isn't doesn't make any sense. And if somebody misconstrues atheism or puts up a straw man argument about atheism, it doesn't make any sense to defend that which is indefensible and which makes no sense as a position.
It's either there is a God or there's not. There's not a lack of belief or absence of belief. It's either there is a God or there's not.
Okay, yes, there either is a God or there's not, but that's a statement about the universe, not a statement about people. Atheism is a statement about people. Theism is a statement about people. If you're a theist, that means you believe in a personal God, not just any God. That would be deism. It means you believe in a personal God. If you believe in a personal God, you're a theist. If you do not believe in a personal God, you're an atheist. You lack that theism. That's all that means.
Okay, but still,
It's
no,
literally all it means. It is not a statement about whether or not there's. It is not a statement about whether or not there is a God. It's a statement about belief.
no matter how you want to twist it, there
I'm
is
not
a
twisting
God,
it.
there is a God, or there is no God.
I agree. There either
Whoa,
is
whoa, whoa, whoa! Excuse me.
or more God. There either is one or more God, or there is not one or more God. However, that is not a statement about belief. That is not what defines theism or atheism. There could be a universe
Worship
full
him,
of
Amy.
gods out
Serve
there.
him.
There could be a universe full of gods out there, and you could believe in just one God and think that there aren't any more than one, and you would be wrong. But whether or not there's a
Make the
universe
sign
full
of
of
the
gods
spaghetti.
has nothing to do with what your belief is. Your belief is a separate thing.
Anoint him with red sauce and garlic bread.
And that's why I say it's lazy, because instead of actually taking on a position, it's just like, oh, I'll just lack.
You don't understand.
No, I do understand, obviously.
Lacking a belief in God is the default position. You can't take on that position. You can regain that position, but it is the default position. Inanimate objects lack belief in God. They don't have a belief in God. People generally don't call them atheists because, again, atheism is a claim about a person's belief. You could call a rock atheistic in the sense that it lacks a God belief, but it's not technically an atheist because it's not a person.
It's the number one an atheist, or the color purple. Is that atheist?
Dak, you can dance all night long. It doesn't matter to me, but it's one position or the other. It's either there's a God or there's no God. You can dance around it all you want.
Again, a God or many gods or no gods or two gods or three gods or an infinite number of gods. Those are all possible positions. Those are claims that someone could make about the universe, but unless you have evidence to back up one of those claims, it's just a claim. And if I claim there are no gods, at all in the universe, well, first I have to define what a God is. If by God I mean capital G-O-D, as in something named God, it would be a really stupid thing for me to claim that there are no gods in the universe, because all it would take is for you to just name your pet rock God, and you could prove me wrong just like that. You could say, here it is, this is God, I named it myself. I know because I did that on a bus trip.
Hopefully not, Titan.
Flower. So that's a real easy way to prove that there isn't not only that there isn't a complete lack of anything named God, but even that there isn't a complete lack of more than one of anything named God. Because you can name your pet rock God and somebody else can name their pet rock God. So you can't make it exclusive and say there can only be one thing named God. I've known people to make that claim, and I can easily prove them wrong. However, if your definition of God is God with a lowercase g, and if you're talking about God as a supernatural being, then you have to be able to show there's such a thing as a supernatural being before you can even show that there is a God that's a supernatural being, because there could be a supernatural being that's not a God. So far, we have no evidence that there's any supernatural anything, let alone a supernatural being, at least to my knowledge. I don't know of any evidence of there being anything supernatural at all. If you can show me something supernatural, then I will have such evidence, and then I will change my position on believing whether or not there's anything supernatural. But I currently do not believe there's anything supernatural because I've seen no evidence of it, not even indirect evidence.
Okay, cool. So your anecdotal evidence is there's no God, and so
it's not evidence; it's a lack of evidence. I'm not taking the position that there is no God. You are strawmanning me by giving me that position when it's not my position.
I just said that was not a straw man. I said your anecdotal position is you don't have the evidence, so that's your position. That doesn't mean that it's real.
That's not anecdotal evidence. I'm not giving evidence at all. I'm making a claim about what evidence I lack.
Exactly. That's anecdotal. That's the evidence.
No,
that
that is not. No, that's not evidence at all. It's a claim about my position.
You
right.
in your position. Exactly. Anecdotal. Thank you.
It's not evidence. I'm not claiming any evidence.
Okay.
I'm not claiming to have evidence that I don't believe in a God. I'm not claiming that there is no God. I'm claiming that I lack evidence of anything supernatural. I don't have any evidence to present. My claim is that I lack the evidence to present that there is anything supernatural.
Right. So
you seem to also lack the evidence.
It's your anecdotal statement then.
No,
position.
My anecdotal statement would be that you also seem to lack evidence of anything supernatural. That's anecdotal. And if you want to show me that you do have evidence of something supernatural, you're quite welcome to do that. Until then, it's going to go on seeming like you don't have any evidence that there's anything supernatural. And that's anecdotal.
No, because this is what atheists do. They try to turn the burden of proof as soon as they get cornered.
That's not
because I cornered
that's
you.
Not trying anything.
You made a statement.
You started with the burden of proof.
You made a
you
statement.
started with the burden of proof.
You made a statement. You made a statement that there was no
what
God.
Statement?
You made the statement there was. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
You are effing straw-manning me repeatedly. You are repeatedly straw-manning me. Talking over me isn't going to change the fact that you're straw-manning me again. You're doing the same straw-man argument repeatedly. Okay? You are the one with the positive claim. If you want to claim there is a supernatural being of any kind out there, the burden of proof is on you to show that there is such a thing as supernatural. It's not on me to show that there isn't any such thing as supernatural. I can make up all kinds of stuff and claim there's no such thing or there is such a thing. If I claim there's no such thing, I have a burden of proof. If I claim there is such a thing, I have a burden of proof. I haven't claimed there is or is not such a thing. What I'm claiming is that I do not know of evidence of such a thing. If you know of evidence of such a thing, present it. If not, then we have nothing to argue about because I'm not disagreeing with you on whether or not there is a God. I simply don't happen to believe it. If you believe it, then you have a positive claim. You have something that you can say you do believe. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm not saying I disbelieve it. Now, with regard to the gods, and the God of the Bible specifically, or the God of the Quran for that matter specifically, or the God of the Torah specifically, I can make claims about those things based on the writings because those gods are defined in those writings. That's different.
This whole encounter started because you made a positive claim at the top when you came on about there not being a God. You did not specify.
Nope.
Yes, you did. You absolutely did.
I did not.
You
absolutely
did. You. So go back and rewind.
Then I will say this: if I did, I was wrong in making that claim, and I retract the claim. But I don't believe I made the claim in the first place.
Well, you can rewind it, and you did. And if you retract it, then I'll shut up.
Yeah, like I said, if I made that claim, I retract the claim. I have no evidence that there isn't any kind of God at all. I did make a positive statement about the Bible's God. That's different.
It wouldn't be water.
They're being quite gentlemen. It's a good back and forth.
The supernatural seems contradictory. So it seems that there, but again, that's anecdotal. I can't say that I know there isn't a supernatural God out there because the supernatural could very well allow that God to hide from me if it wanted to. So I can't say there isn't one. What I can say is I lack the evidence necessary to be able to justify a belief in such a thing. I can't justify believing in anything supernatural personally. If you can justify believing personally in something supernatural, there are a whole bunch of us out here who would really appreciate it if you would help us to be able to justify such a belief as well. Because if the belief is justifiable, then it's probably true, and we would probably like to believe it as well. But why would we want to believe it if it's not justifiable? Because if it's not justifiable, it's probably not true either.
All right, we're coming into final statements. I'm going to let Jesus respond, and then instead, I'm going to bring us back on to topic. We're going to talk the last Bible, and then we're going to say our goodbyes. Oh, James got summoned by Satan again. It happens every once in a while. He has to go fight for the Lord of Darkness. It happens.
No. It was probably the Tooth Fairy that summoned him this time.
You know, that bitch has been getting around lately. I will say.
Just to be clear, I'm kidding. Yeah, I doubt he was summoned by any such fictitious or likely fictitious being, but hey, just as likely the Tooth Fairy. So why not?
And I just want to remind all of you, I would mute harder, but this is Zoe, Oz's twin opposite brother who preaches Christianity and is trying to normalize Christianity. So it's been fun, guys. And,
it was a lively debate.
It was a lively debate.
Christianity doesn't really need to be normalized because it already is. It's very normal out there, at least here in the United States where I live.
Hey,
it's quite normalized already. What it's not is justified.
I mean, Donald, you can't even say Merry Christmas.
And that is
anymore.
An anecdotal claim.
War on Christmas.
That is the fact that it is not justified is an anecdotal claim on my part. It is. I do not believe it to be justified. If someone has justification for it, they are welcome to give
Go
that
back to
justification.
dancing, Amy.
Woo! We got this Para-adventure. And so, Donald, what did you think about tonight's chapter? Did you find a lot of wisdom in this?
Not really. Don't get me wrong. There's probably as much wisdom buried in a fable like that as there is in one of Aesop's fables, but it's not as obvious what the wisdom is if it's in there. It seems to either not really be there or hiding rather well.
Yeah, he seems to be hiding. He used to be, like I said, a main character. He used to be in the action, really telling people what to do, not do, killing people if they splooged on the floor, apparently.
Well, okay, so we've got a guy who was sold into slavery, and then he was put into a position of power. Not huge power, but nonetheless a position of power. If after getting into that position of power, he was advocating that that the country that had enslaved him or the people that enslaved him give up slavery. I could see some moral story to be found in that. That they're saying, hey, slavery is wrong and shouldn't be done. But we're not seeing that, are we? We're seeing a guy who was sold into slavery by his brothers, and when his brothers, all but one of his brothers, shows up, he lies to his brothers about who he is, and tells them they got to go find his other brother, or he's not going to believe who they are when he knows good and well who they are. So, I don't see any kind of some kind of a moral guidance there to say, well, they're role models, we should do like they're doing, or anything like that. There's nothing. Yeah. There's no obvious morality being taught there, in my opinion.
I mean, it's a story about forgiveness. Like, he tests his brothers, and then we're going to see he forgives them and brings them into Egypt.
Yeah, and, which I suppose,
nice story of redemption.
If somebody has a hard time forgiving, I suppose they might find a moral lesson there. I don't tend to have a hard time forgiving, so I guess maybe that's why I wouldn't see that as so much of a moral lesson.
It's a good. I mean, none of it happened, but.
But then in the same sense, I don't go around enslaving people either. So,
not yet.
Not like I've got a huge anti-slavery lesson to learn either.
And you didn't need the Bible to tell you not to own slaves?
No, I didn't need the Holy Fable to tell me anything. I've read it thoroughly in multiple translations, and none of it is useful to me beyond just being literature.
Don't you believe that's true? Don't you think it's true not to kill?
Yeah,
Isn't that a good moral commandment?
It's also something that is by no means exclusively found in the Bible. As a matter of fact, it wasn't exclusively found in the Bible when it first got into the writings of the Bible, before the Bible even became the Bible. So
babble
just
before the
saying.
babble. And okay, so Donald, tell me when you're done your final statement. Is that if that you are done your final statement, then we'll hand it over to James. Then we'll let maybe Jesus have his last word if he wants, and then I'm just gonna close this out.
I'll end by making an invitation, and if you want to revoke my invitation, it's your channel. You can feel free to revoke it, but I'm going to make an invitation to any God out there that wants to come and speak on this program. I am personally inviting them to come and speak for themselves, because if they really are anything that I would consider worthy of being called a God, I would think they should be able to do a better job of speaking for themselves than any apologist they might send along on their behalf. So rather than sending anyone to speak for them, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the apologists shouldn't be welcome. I know you invite them on a regular basis, and I don't have any problem with them being here. But if their God really wants to be believed in, it should come and speak for itself, and I invite it to do so.
Praise
that
Jesus.
Sounds good. And actually, Jesus says, "Why don't you?"
Let
you
Jesus
and Don
go
going
if
back.
he has a response.
Do you have any response for
Yeah, go
tonight?
ahead and hide me on the top while he's talking. Just
Any response
for now.
from Jesus or God?
Anything we've seen tonight, or you want to plug a channel, or anything?
Send anybody to hell?
I'm going to send who am I going to send to hell tonight? Benny Hinn. I'm sending Benny Hinn to hell tonight. Benny Hinn's going to hell.
Going straight to hell. You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks.
And directly behind is Kenny Copeland. Kenny Copeland is going to hell.
And he grabbed Pat Robertson's pants, and his pants went with him to hell, like Potiphar's wife.
Yes, yes, those things. But other than that, I love these conversations, and I love talking to people that believe or don't believe or disagree with me. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But as far as what Dak said tonight, his original comment, it is what it is. And he definitely did. He definitely did make a positive claim, or I would have come in hot. I would not have come in hot if he didn't make that claim. But I think for the atheist, the whole I lack belief claim. It's to me it's like my teenagers. It's like I lack the energy to go to work. I lack the energy to do my homework. I lack the no. You don't lack anything. Either you do or you don't. So that's my statement. And that whole thing's bullshit.
All right. Thank you so much, Jesus.
Well, thank you, Jesus. Yes, that was very profound, very meaningful.
I want to just say one last time that Jesus saves. The crowd goes wild. Woo!
Praise him. Gay men.
And the Bible. The Babel. I'm so sorry. Gotta get that.
Bible.
No, Beeble. The Beeble.
Bible. I'm so sorry.
Bible. Bibull.
And so I'll hand it off to James, and then James, just tell me when you're done, and I'll take us out.
All right. Well, we had a interesting few chapters today. A little bit more action than in the last time. So we got some prison action, some prison romance going on. It's a good old-fashioned execution, then a good old-fashioned promotion to prime minister. And his brothers are here. Now they're going to bring the other brother back. So lots of stuff should happen. We are almost all the way through Genesis, 42 out of 50 chapters done. So probably, I don't know if you think we'd be able to wrap it up in 2 or most likely 3 to get us out of Genesis and then into Exodus. So we are just steamrolling along. And I think we will be doing at least one we'll be doing something tomorrow. We haven't figured out exactly what we're doing tomorrow yet, but we do plan on being back with something tomorrow.
Woohoo! Well, thank you so much, James. Yeah, this was.
So I just want to thank everybody for coming in. Thanks, Dax. Thanks, Jesus.
Well, in fact, I want to thank you all. In fact, tonight, I hope you enjoyed episode 11, A King, a Butler, and a Baker Walk into a Bar, where we learn not to get thrown into slavery, or you may get executed at a Pharaoh's birthday party. Well, unless you're Joseph, then maybe you'll get to own all of Egypt. I want to thank James W., Jesus's, Donald, Haley, Robert, Aunt Jer, Ian, Jamie, Spooky, Doorknob, Dog, Nicola Terra, Doc Fearsome, Titan, Uranus, Dave Gar, Stripper Liquor, Blaster Master, and Iron Charioteer, along with anyone else that I missed. Don't forget.
Also, if you're not subscribed to Tart, the Atheist Round Table, that is a really good channel.
Yes.
I'm sure everybody will be subscribed to it, but if not, do that now.
Yes, it is Jesus's his arch rival channel. I think at this point I don't think he has a channel yet, but he's just, like I said, trying to normalize Christianity. But I really want to get Tart out there just because he's been pressing so hard, because we want to normalize atheism. So go check out tart.live just randomly or something like that. And okay, and while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe here and there, along with setting that bell icon to all so that you can join our live events. I hope you all had an awesome stay, and I'll see you next time on the next episode
Probably tomorrow
of Skeptic Ball Z.